So hello everyone, we are sitting here the day after finishing the recording of the It might be the first time that there is outside these piano performances that we do here, the first time that we had like a wind player and a string player. You bring a lot of experience to the floor just by experimenting with this kind of new way of playing. So it is interesting to share anything that's on your mind, what you faced, what were the challenges, what were actually the beneficial elements perhaps of playing in this way.
As regarding me, I have honestly to say that it was quite normal, nothing difficult. As you know, I'm a kind of beginner with these instruments. I'm not a specialist, I would say.
With periodic clarinet?
Yeah, periodic clarinet, exactly. I'm playing by a while, and I like a lot. I really like a lot. The instrument is really challenging me because it's really unstable in comparison with a modern instrument.
Okay.
It's unbelievably unstable. So intonation, the wood is moving like crazy. I mean, during one performance.
So what people should know, you say you're a beginner here, but you're actually one of, can I say Europe's leading clarinet players? You played in big orchestras.
Well, I played on...
Maybe you can share a little bit of your background.
I play on big orchestra. I'm the principal clarinet now at the Slovenian Philharmonic Orchestra in Ljubljana. I played in several Italian orchestra. I played in Royal Philharmonic Orchestra in London, and well, nice experiences.
Okay, so
modern clarinet, of course.
It's rather so you find a way to me, based actually on what, or
based on the septet. I had to face the septet a few months ago, and well, it was interesting because actually we couldn't find a solution to play the metronomes, and nobody took care about them, about the metronome markings.
So you're not discussing the metronome marks of Beethoven?
No, we were
just
playing.
Play like
we just play how we feel.
Sure.
Let's say.
Yeah.
And well, it came a point that I said, "Wow, but those metronome markings, they were written by Beethoven himself.
Sure, yeah.
So they have to make sense. And if I play, well, I have to say that especially with modern instruments, there is no any problem to play fast. Nowadays, all clarinet players, they can manage speed in, I mean, at least professional, but also, I mean, normal players, they can manage speed really well. Mm-hmm. And the instrument is technically perfect. I mean, you have not to take care so much about intonation. The instrument is giving everything by itself. And so speed is not a problem. Breathing is not a problem at all because, I mean, the most of clarinet players nowadays, they are using, I would say, all of them, they are using circular breathing, me too. So breathing is not a problem. So
speed is not a problem. Do you say for the septet, what, because you have this very fast presto tempo at the end, that you, because that was the reason, if I remember, you said we were below the tempo of Beethoven, still we were facing like...
The point is that we didn't play that speed. I never played the speed in, let's say, normal single beat of the metronome because you don't feel it like kind of musical. I mean, I'm Mr. Nobody in comparison with Beethoven, but I cannot. I mean, the septet we played, we were 7. We couldn't give sense to those metronome numbers in that way. So we played a middle way, kind of, sometimes close to the single beat, but almost never way below. I would say way below the speed. And then it came we were talking with colleagues, saying, about this broken metronome story. And you know that in my past life I was almost an engineer. And I couldn't believe that Beethoven cannot check a metronome just putting a pendulum in front of him.
Or the second one from a clock, yeah.
Yeah, you check and then you do 60, 120, 80, you can do proportions. It's really easy. It has to work. No way. And so I started to investigate how the things went. I mean, how was possible that you put this kind of metronome numbers? They are completely out of everything. And then I came on your channel, and so I contacted you, and you gave me a reasonable explanation of what it could be, actually. And I have to say that in the beginning, especially for slow movements, it was hard to accept, very hard to accept. They were extremely slow, especially for the septet. The beginning adagio.
Adagio, yeah.
If you're not used to this speed,
that opening chord is like 7-8 seconds.
Exactly, it's really slow. But then I said to myself, there is no way, or you accept the single beat, or you have to find another solution. Let's try another solution. And then I gave myself a few time to set in this new mood, while playing very fast. I mean, this is Beethovenier.
Yeah.
So I will play a lot of Beethoven Sixth Symphony and so while playing on super speed on one side, I tried to set my feeling on this new mood. And actually, I felt really comfortable. There is one point that to me is really impressive, that I can understand, enjoy, organize. I can really get the full meaning of the music at first listening. And this is something that
and so if you say some movements were slow, of course, we know this music so well, and so there is a kind of transition period that you need to set the mood, certainly for those adagios. Yes. But was it like also a shock technically playing? Did you face like some really problems that you had to solve, or?
I have to say that, well, breathing, at least on this instrument, is not a problem. I can hold a long note. I mean, for example, the beginning of Fourth Symphony, it is supposed to be like 36 seconds.
Yeah, it's extreme, yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. With one shot breath, without over breathing, it's possible. If you play piano, then you do crescendo, diminuendo at the end. It's really possible. But by the way, I have to say that because of this new practice, I try to find some elements in all clarinet methods.
Yeah.
And they were usually, split in slurs, breathing inside slurs.
Breathing under the bow, yeah.
And this is clearly marked in the method. So it was not such a problem. I think that long notes for the whole history of music, but
you gave also some examples of Mahler where you have normal tempo, where
exactly first like symphony you have like 24 bars for 4. All the clarinet section is holding long notes.
So if you see the septet or the reduction here to Opus 38, there was not a place where you say, here I have a problem that I cannot solve.
No.
And was on the other hand give it you some like a position where you as a clarinet player had more comfort in playing?
There is a point, in my opinion, in playing this speed, that you have to be really careful about the instrumental problems. The main one is intonation. Even playing fast tempo. Sometimes when you play fast tempo, I don't know, if you play allegro under 20, the quarter note. I mean, it's really easy to play you can give up in a way.
Okay.
I cannot say that you have not to be precise, but it goes fast. in a way, or 130 or 140. This is giving you, on a way, more problems because, of course, you have to take care about fingers, especially on this kind of clarinet. But then, on the end, there is a way to solve the
because the notes are much shorter and it's just not
exactly.
here. Yeah.
When you play in this speed, you have to be careful about everything you put.
Yeah.
I mean, and all the sounds, they have to be carefully played.
Yeah.
Intonation is a basic point. And this instrument, at least in this moment of my life, you know, I'm beginner again. But
yeah,
this
is beginner, I would say.
Yeah, well, but it's quite complicated because you have. I mean, the instrument is moving while you are playing. Then, of course, you are playing chords. When you play third, when you play seventh, when you play, I mean, you have to take care about intonation, to find fingers, to correct with the embouchure.
Complicated in a way, as it's more. You have to be more precise.
You have to be more precise.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a problem of technical skill in speed, moving finger fast.
Yeah.
But it's in taking care about each sound you produce.
Of this individual note where all these treatises of the time are actually begging for like clarity. That's in fact a little bit the same as you are saying now.
Absolutely.
So every note has its quality.
A lot of things you can do holding on sound. I mean, you have to be a kind of master in holding the sound and manage the decay of sound.
And does it give possibilities in expression also?
Of course, absolutely. Also playing with piano, when, for example, the beginning chord of the trio, they will listen that we have to manage the decay of sound of piano.
Yeah.
And this is nice. I mean, this is another way to play an ensemble.
Okay.
Also, when you play phrases, you have to shape sounds in a more accurate way.
Yeah.
Because, of course, time is let's say larger. Every sound has its own identity.
So for the future, I mean, you're playing in this important orchestra, and I know you're a great player. When I was in Italy with you, you showed me some things you could do. I was like, okay, as pianists, we can only dream from the possibilities you have on the clarinet. But
modern
clarinet. Okay, so and you have there this wonderful position, and I know you enjoy playing like with your colleagues in this way.
Of course.
Now you have opened this other part of your life. Is this something that you see you do parallel in the future, that you keep developing this way of playing as well, besides your...
Yeah, of course. I mean, what I love of this way of playing is what I said before. I'm not stressed in listening. I can feel, especially, I have to say, especially in Adagio, I can feel this kind of deep soul that these composers had, that Beethoven had. I mean, it's a really, how to say, intimate dialogue between the composer and the listener through the instruments. And this is something special. This you cannot face. I mean, when the relation with silence between sounds is not developed because of speed, of course, because we are playing fast. I mean, silence, the decay of sound, also in piano, is giving you the time to think. I mean, to stay with you, to try to find a connection also with the composer. And this is something that I really like a lot. problem is not if this is true or not true. We can discuss, we can, of course. My personal opinion is that there is no other solution.
Okay.
There is no other solution. But this is not the main point of the whole story. I mean, the main point is to give people, to give players, to give also amateurs the way to, I mean, to enjoy, to feel, to play this music. I mean, this is another prospection for everybody, especially for, I can imagine, pianists frustrated by playing fast, by managing high speed, studying hours and hours and hours. You can face this, I mean, this music in a calm way, just trying, I think, to find a good connection with the meaning of the music itself.
Yeah.
I mean, you can find your own way to understand the music, to enjoy the music, to perform the music. And this is a great chance, in my opinion. How many musicians they gave up because they had not so much speech in fingers, or I mean, not for us, for example, not so fast staccato. We are playing double tongue the whole life, of course. All clarinet player now they are able to play double tonguing.
I was thinking now when you heard you say this kind of statement actually was nice. What will be the moment you remember most from last days? I mean, musically speaking, because otherwise you would say Cebu, of course, the dog.
Yeah, no, musically speaking, I have to say that, it's a long time that I do not play this trio. I played several years ago, and with modern clarinet, and of course in normal, let's say normal speed, like in nowadays speed. And I have to say that from this point of view, I mean, this, let's say, all beat theory, but it's a praxis. It's not, for me, it's not a theory. I don't care about the theory. I take care about what comes out. Everything was different.
And is there one particular moment, maybe there is not one, but a moment, maybe not in the music, but just like something that happened, and we're not going to share the stories that we had last night at 2 a.m. in the morning.
No, but well, this is... you know, everything was funny. We developed, you know, a trio in 2 days.
It was great, also with the piano. Like, this is the first time that this instrument was used.
This was the best thing to me, the human contact with you, both of you. I mean, you are playing an instrument that's actually no problem with intonation, or almost. And we are playing...
Easy thing to do.
I mean,
come on.
The cello players, I mean, they have in their hands almost a perfect instrument. This is a kind of really, I cannot say, but it's way far to be perfect.
It sounds nice, though.
It sounds nice. I mean, I try to make it sound something nice, but in any case, it's way far to be perfect like the modern instrument, of course. But it has its own identity.
Yeah.
It has its own identity. It deserves to be explored. It's giving something that modern instrument will never give you. But the relation, how we develop the playing together on the beginning, trying to find the right things, intonation, and then going, I mean, faster and faster in finding solution and everything, and also in fitting with tempos.
Yeah.
Because I have to say that I was prepared with tempo. I mean, I'm getting used with this kind of speed, but I mean,
you have to find
this was amazing.
So, and then what the future? Just to wrap this video a little bit up, like this interview, like or the future, the full septet. You feel for that project?
Wow, it would be nice.
So guys, that will be something you will hear about more on the channel, like the project of the realization of the full septet. That will be something, maybe even a little bit of crowdfunding campaign, who knows. But if we would manage to do this, that would be in the Beethoven year like a milestone. This already, I think, was a milestone, and just bringing musicians together around this idea. And I cannot underline this enough. And actually also bringing Alberto on the floor, who says, this is just experimenting based upon what Lorenz and others have been researching. And music should be about bringing people together, enjoying the moment. And if this is done like in whatever background, this is an experiment with the result that I think it's like, for me, was astonishing these days, also musically speaking, working together with both of you. And just the music that comes out, for me at the piano, felt like great. So I'm looking forward to doing more things with you, some Weber stuff waiting, wink wink.
Yeah, why not?
And then working maybe on a full septet, who knows that this can be like the first step to have more musicians involved.
That would be really nice.
Okay, Max, thank you for everything.
Thanks for everything.
I hug you.